There was a time when life moved slowly, when mornings began with the sound of neighbors greeting each other, and evenings carried the rhythm of laughter echoing down narrow streets. People gathered not because they had to, but because it was part of living. After a long day of work, friends would sit together, under trees, on doorsteps, or in simple living rooms with nothing but dim light and endless conversations. They would share stories of their struggles and their triumphs. They would debate about politics, argue about sports, laugh over silly jokes, and tease each other until tears of joy rolled down their cheeks. In those moments, bonds were not just formed, they were cemented. Trust grew without ever needing to be spoken. Friendship felt unshakable, unbreakable, eternal. But today, things are different. We still live, but we live faster. We still speak, but mostly through screens. We still laugh, but it is often typed out as 3 little letters, LOL, sent to a contact list that we barely know. The gatherings have faded. The circles have shrunk. The warmth of sitting side by side has been replaced by glowing screens held inches from our faces. And somehow, in this world that is more connected than ever, human hearts have never felt so disconnected. Think about it. When was the last time you sat with a friend without checking your phone? When was the last time you lost track of time in a conversation that had no agenda? We claim to have hundreds of friends, thousands of followers, countless connections, and yet so many of us feel an emptiness we cannot name. We scroll for hours, but rarely do we feel seen. We post updates, but rarely do we feel understood. The truth is simple but painful. Friendships do not thrive in silence. They do not survive in isolation. They need presence. They need moments. They need the magic of 2 people sharing the same space, the same breath, the same laughter. In the past, people found comfort in the simplest of things. A neighbor knocking on your door just to ask how you are, a friend showing up with no reason except to sit beside you, an evening stretched out by nothing more than stories and tea. Those little moments, though ordinary, built extraordinary bonds. They gave people strength to endure hardships because they knew they were not alone. Today, loneliness wears a new mask. It hides beneath busy schedules, endless notifications, and glowing timelines. We convince ourselves we are too occupied, too tired, too connected to need anything else. But deep down, our hearts crave the same thing they always did: genuine connection. The kind that technology can never replicate. The kind that grows only when 2 souls meet without distraction. And here lies the great irony of our age. We are surrounded by more people than ever before, yet friendship itself is in danger of extinction. But it does not have to be this way. We can choose differently. We can slow down. We can call an old friend instead of liking their post. We can invite people over instead of scrolling through their pictures. We can rebuild the circles that once gave us warmth and strength. Because when you look back at life, it will not be the notifications you remember. It will not be the comments or the likes. It will be the evenings you spent laughing until your stomach hurt. It will be the nights you stayed up with a friend talking about dreams, fears, and futures. It will be the presence of those who stood beside you when you had nothing to give, except yourself. Friendship is not measured in numbers. It is measured in moments. It is measured in silence shared without awkwardness, in tears wiped without hesitation, in laughter that needs no explanation. These are the treasures that no device can provide. So maybe it is time to step away from the endless scrolling, the endless posting, the endless distractions. Maybe it is time to walk across the street, knock on a door, and simply say, "Let's talk." Maybe it is time to bring back those evenings of gathering, of conversation, of presence. Because one day, when the noise of the world fades and all the screens go dark, what will remain are not the digital shadows of friendship, but the living memories of people who truly cared. Friendships are not built in the chaos of notifications. They are built in the quiet moments we choose to share. They are not lost to time, unless we let them be. So, let us not allow them to vanish. Let us gather again, let us talk again, let us live again together.